Hello, you guys. Hi, and welcome to day 12 of 90 Days Through the Word. My name is Sonia McCullough Lockridge, and I am your host. And I joy to come to you in this fashion. And I hope and pray that you're having a blessed day in the Lord. Today, our reading review finds us in chapter chapter 21 and 22 of the book of Numbers through Numbers 32:19. So, I did not write in my journal today. I wrote my composition book because I had a lot to write. And actually, the composition book will hold all this writing because you can use the front and back pages. It's just sometimes when I'm reading, I don't write nicely. And so I want my reading to look nice in my composition, in my journal. And so I will rewrite everything in there. So the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people. And once again, Moses interceded for the people and had Moses create a bronze serpent for people to look at and receive healing from the fiery serpents. Now, this is the medical bronze symbol that we see often in medical practices. That's the serpent, kind of winded around a little rod. So that's where they get this from. Because if they looked upon the serpent, then they were healed. If they didn't look at the serpent, they were not healed. That's from chapter 21. Chapter 22, they covered the people of Israel were so vast that Balak, the king of Moab, considered them. When he looked at them, what he saw was that they covered the surface of the land. That is what Balak thought in regards to the people of Israel. Now, Balak, the king of Moab, was afraid of the sons of Israel because they were so great. And he hired Balaam, a sorcerer, to put a curse on the folks, on the sons of Israel. But Balaam often spoke to the Lord in regards to his curses. And the Lord's like, no, don't do it. And so every time Balak went to hire Balaam in regards to creating curses to hurt the sons of Israel, he would approach the Lord God Almighty, and they would be blessed and not cursed. So I would say that chapter 23 was all about Balak, who's the king of Moab, curses and blessings in regards to the Lord. So this person, Balaam, was hired for a fee by Balak to curse the sons of Israel. But the Lord interceded and caused him not to do it because of the Lord's commands. So chapter 24, the prophecy and poetry in the book of Numbers chapter 24 is basically prophecy and poetry here that we find here in the book of Numbers. Chapter 25, the Lord is angry with Israel. The Lord is angry with Israel for having relations with the daughters of Moab. And he has all of the leaders executed because of this. And there is another plague which kills 24,000 people. Another plague, which kills 24,000 people. But one of the priests, Finus, was awarded greatly because in the congregation, when this sin was addressed, there were some people who just got up in front of the congregation and proceeded to be active in this same sin, a man and a woman. And Finus, who was one of the priests, he pierced them both with a sword and killed them. And the Lord was awarded Finus because the Lord saw that Finus was jealous in regards to what the Lord was jealous of. Because Finus agreed with the Lord acknowledged him and awarded him in that fashion. Now, chapter 26, verses 64 and 65, after the plague. I wanted to read these out loud today. Chapter 26. Let's see. Chapter 26, verses 64 and 65. So, just to note, but among these, there was not a man of those who were numbered by Moses and Aaron the priest, who numbered the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, they shall surely die in the wilderness, and not a man was left of them, except Caleb the son and Joshua the son of Nun. So, yesterday, after talking about what we read yesterday, I was like, is that right? But yeah, that's right. The only two of those were left. Chapter 27, the Lord set the standard for inheritance in regards to families without sons. In chapter 27, the Lord sets the standard for inheritance in regards to families without sons, because these 4 daughters come and approach Moses in regards to not getting inheritance when the land was divided in chapter 26 among all these people, and all the shares were divided in chapter 26. 4 daughters came up and they're like, hey Moses, like, we were left out. But the Lord made a way and set the standard for inheritance in chapter 27 for families without sons. Now, in verse 12 through 14 of 27, the Lord speaks to Moses in regards to the end of his life in verses 12 through 14 and 27. And let's just read that. Then the Lord said to Moses, go up to this mountain of Abraham and see the land which I have given to the sons of Israel. When you have seen it, you too will be gathered to your people as Aaron as Aaron your brother was. For in the wilderness, during the strife of the congregation, you rebelled against my commandments, to treat me as holy before their eyes at the water. So this is when Moses decided to strike the rock and not speak to the rock as the Lord instructed. Chapter 28. The chapter 28 discusses the appointed time offerings, and once again, a soothing aroma, an offering made by fire, and it addresses the sin offerings, the drink offerings, the grain offerings, and the burnt offerings. Thus, all these offerings are part of the reason why the Lord blessed us with his one and only Son to save us. Chapter 29 discusses the 7th month offerings. Chapter 30, confirmation and annulment of vows is discussed greatly in chapter 30. Chapter 31, 12,000 armed men for war against 12,000 men go to war against the Midianites. Balaam is killed. And then the men of war were taxed because the men of war were able to gather plunder from the Midianites. What is it? Sorry, Midianites. From the land of I don't know why I just all of a sudden can't say that. Anyway, the sons of Israel received a war tax because they were able to gather the plunder during their successful mission in the land of Midian. And that is it. That is all of our reading for today. It looks like on my notes I did want to focus a little bit on verse 13 of 32. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years, until the entire generation of those who had done evil in the sight of the Lord was destroyed. That's why it took them 40 years. Because the Lord determined that they would be destroyed before they would go to the promised land. So tomorrow our reading finds us, I think we're still in the book of Numbers, in Numbers 22 through Deuteronomy 7:26. Numbers 32:20 through Deuteronomy 7:26. So tomorrow is Thursday, June 13th, and we will begin in the book of Deuteronomy. And so that gives us 1, 2, 3. It gives us 3 days in Deuteronomy, of which at the end of this week we will complete our reading of Deuteronomy. And Deuteronomy will probably go really fast because it's more or less a review of all that's happened in this short period of time. So we will see a lot of things again in the book of Deuteronomy. So that will make it a faster read, and it's 34 chapters. And by the end of this week, by the end of Saturday, we will have read the entire Pentateuch, the entire first 5 books of the Bible, the entire Torah, the majority of Moses' writing in the Word of the Lord. Thank you so much for following along with me. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope and pray that you're reading along with me. If you have any questions or concerns, please put them in the comments. I will see them and I will reply. Also, please subscribe so the very next time I upload a video or publish a video, you will be one of the first to know. Thank you so much. This is Sonia signing out for the Bible Study Studio. Thank you and have a blessed day in the Lord.